explore some valuable tips and strategies to help enhance your mindset and to foster your growth and ultimately to help you achieve your goals for this season in life. And it's all about creating a life that's beautiful, thought provoking, centered around what matters most to you. So let's focus on that today. And we're going to be specifically today talking about insight and decision making. These sessions are based off of the content that we visit each week in our Mind Moments community. And this is where we get together every single week. We have live strategy sessions. And our strategy session for last week was on insight and decision making. And I'm hoping that by the end of this, just a little 15-minute session, that you're going to understand the benefits of mindful decision making and you'll have a few activities to try out. So let's get started. The first question is, what exactly is insightful or mindful decision making? What does that look like for you? So, whether you're watching live or maybe you're catching the replay, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think mindful or insightful decision making is, or what it's about. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you my thoughts on what mindful decision making is. And it's really about being fully aware and present when making decisions. So let's think about that. It involves understanding your thoughts, your emotions, and the potential outcomes of your decisions. So when you make decisions, are you always making decisions that align with your true self and your true desires? I'm going to give you an example of what that might look like, and then an example of what it probably doesn't look like if you're not using mindful decision making. So, the first concept here is to pause before you make a decision. No snap um, last minute decisions. I want you to pause and reflect on your energy levels before you make any decisions. Consider whether you need some time to rest, to rejuvenate before you make that decision. And then you make decisions. And one of the examples that I like to share is when you are being given an opportunity to spend some time with friends, some type of a social engagement. Recognizing the importance of your self care and having balance in your life, are you going to opt in for fun and excitement with friends, maybe out and about, or are you going to, pass on that opportunity and just opt in for a relaxing evening at home rather than going out? That would be a mindful decision. Now, on the other hand, making decisions that are haphazard or not necessarily mindful might look just like being impulsive. Making decisions impulsively, taking on an extra task or an outing without really keeping in mind what your goals are. So it could be a task that you have addressed or given to yourself, or maybe someone else is asking you to do. And you don't really pause and assess what your workload looks like, what the stress levels might be involved in doing such a task. You might even feel like you have to say yes out of obligation. And these type of decisions that you make really contradict your values. And they can, in a way. If you value maintaining a healthy work life balance or being in tune to your body and its stress or need to rest, if you value those, then you're not going to take make these decisions that are haphazard and that lead to more stress and sometimes even burnout. So I want you to think of a decision that you recently made, whether it's a big or small decision. Sometimes, for me, I felt like it was like a combination of small decisions over and over again that really burned me out. Those decisions that I made impulsively or out of obligation. So I see someone mentioned get a nap in, and when you feel overwhelmed by creating content, get a nap in. And that is a good idea. So you're thinking, are you fully aware of your thoughts and your emotions when you're making that type of a decision? Absolutely. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a break and make sure that what you're about to do or what you're about to say is or agree to is really aligned with your values. And I really appreciate those of you who are willing to share your thoughts in here and touch base with us on these concepts of making mindful decisions as opposed to quick, haphazard decisions where you're not really putting things in perspective for yourself. And the reason why I feel like it's important for us to be able to verbalize what it is that we need to know, verbalize whether or not you are making decisions based on your thoughts, your feelings, things that your energy levels or not. Because the more you're able to verbalize whether or not your decisions are aligning with your values or your needs, this is really the first step in being able to make decisions more mindfully. So, how can we consistently incorporate mindfulness into our decision making processes? Well, I've got a few techniques for you to try. You may already use these when things get really chaotic, but I'd like for you to consider using these on a consistent basis. The first one is to pause and breathe. So before you make any decisions, just take a few breaths. This simple act is going to help center you, and really it's going to reduce the stress that might be spinning around in there based on this decision that you need to make. And just breathe. Count to three, hold your nose, however you want to do it, some sort of mindful breathing. And we have lots of resources for those in this group. That's one thing that can really help you make mindful decisions, is pausing before you make a decision, not being, quick to decide what you're going to do. Give it some thought. The other thing is for you to check in on your values. So when you're faced with any decision, this is important, really, I think, for even the small decisions. Like I said earlier, take a moment to ask yourself if what you are doing right now is aligning with your core values. Do you even know what your values are? What is important to you? I'd like you to take a minute or two just to write down your top three values. What comes to mind right now? Write them down and keep them visible so that next time when you're making decisions, you can refer to this list. So let's take a quick poll right now before we move into our resource for the week. What are your core values? You can type them in the chat or in the comments. Your core values. Can you think of them right now? For me, one thing is time freedom. Another core value of mine is just being able to be fully engaged. So, not doing a zillion things at once, but doing a few things very thoughtfully. Those are some of my core values. So, give it some thought. You can share these with us, or you can just reflect on it privately. That is perfectly fine. Now, for this week's resource, I have a hands on activity for you that's going to help you keep your values in mind and guide you in your decision making process so that you are making more decisions that align with who you are and what your goals are for yourself. It's a downloadable PDF and it's called the Real Me Tree. This exercise is to really do some self reflection and become more aware of what's going on. It'll also give you an opportunity to maybe set some priorities for this season of life, and help you prioritize what your goals might be, kind of foster a more balanced perspective on things. Keep in mind your emotions and whether or not what you're doing right now is effectively um, utilizing your emotions and aligning your decisions for the long term, for your long term vision for yourself and what you have in mind for yourself personally, for your family, for your business, whatever it might be. And when you have a structured, proactive approach to decision making, you are more likely to make practical and insightful decisions that really resonate with your beliefs. And these contribute to your personal growth, and you feel at ease with what you're doing. And let me just make sure you're aware of this. This is not a one and done approach. It's so important that we be proactive in a lot of things in life. One of them is in your mindfulness and decision making. Really taking time to revisit and use an approach that is going to be beneficial to you and help deepen your contentment with what you're doing and how you're doing it. So, if you'd like to get a free copy of this resource, The Real Me Tree, which is a workbook on making insightful decisions, then make sure I have your email address. And if you'd like to go deeper into some of these practices, you are welcome to join me for a one on one expansion session. We just get on a Zoom call and we explore some personalized strategies for you that help heighten your awareness and improve your overall decision making in many respects. So, whether you are part of our paid membership or you're just exploring these spotlight sessions here in the Facebook community or perhaps on a YouTube recording, remember that each of these practices are designed to inspire and empower you towards lasting inner peace and purpose. And I see some of you have already asked about the workbook, and I will make sure that you get access to that. If you're watching on YouTube, because this is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, and you haven't done so already, feel free to join our Facebook community. It's called Essentials for Peace and Balance, and it's the perfect place for you to connect with other people who are seeking peace and balance, to share your journey, and to really get an extra dose of inspiration and support on a regular basis. And once again, if you want to get the weekly reminders and these complimentary resources right in your inbox, just make sure that you click on the link below. I'm going to put it down in the comments and in the show notes so that I can have your email address, and then I will be able to send you each week the focus of the week for the spotlight sessions. I'll be able to send you the Zoom link if you'd like to join us on Zoom, and then our complimentary resource that I'll be offering every single week. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. And just a reminder, folks, these sessions are every single Monday at noon Eastern Time. That's 11 Central, 10 Mountain, 9 Pacific. So it depends on where you're coming in from. These midday check ins are perfect for giving you that extra boost to start your week strong. So I'd love to have you join me for these sessions and get these practical tips and action steps that you can implement immediately into your daily life. So I am so thrilled to be able to be on this journey with you, and I want to encourage you to continue to embrace every single moment for what it's worth and make it count.